this time on Wild West The Reckoning, the Spirit Chasers, after finally reuniting with Walter, which we previously were unsure if that was going to happen, but it did in fact happen. He did not die during Christmas. Uh, they managed to find a teleportation circle, bamfed themselves out to Jacksonville, and then took a very long train ride to New Orleans. Along the way, they found out that some contractors were occupying one of the cars of the train, which had been decoupled in the middle of the night. They then continued upon their merry way. Bruce met a stranger cloaked who said that they were capable of teaching him great and wonderful things should he seek him out. And then eventually, after about, I think, what was it, 3 to 4 days by train travel, made it to New Orleans. So I did manage to find a map for this as best as I could.
And I've made quick tokens using the art that I commissioned.
Whoa,
If
whoa,
anyone
whoa,
wants to use
whoa. It's New Orleans.
It's Nolans. So I think technically with the way how this is, is there a key? Is there a key for where the north is?
Oh, there's a scale.
There's a scale.
Well,
I think
we could probably tell by how the Mississippi is.
north is like this way, right?
I would have to look.
Oh goddamn compass!
Because this is straight right here, just going straight up. But in reality, when I was looking at it on the map, because I think this right here is like the French Quarter, right? It was going this way. So I'm assuming north is this way.
And yeah, the French Quarter is right at the.
Right in here, right?
Oh yeah, we got a public transit map. Does it have a compass rose? It super does not. Amazing. Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right. It does go this way.
Okay, I'll put like a north over here. Alrighty. You all would be based on this map. There's only 2 train tracks, and one of them looks like it stops just before the Mississippi, and the other one looks like it would be kind of more in the city center. So we'll say over here on like, yeah, why not? Lafayette over here is like where the train station is. So we'll put Ed in, but Ed is big, so we're gonna make Ed a little bit smaller. Like right about there. But as your train finally pulls into the station, I'd say, this would be bigger than Jacksonville at this point, bigger city. I'd say that the train station overall is about the same size as the one in Austin. A lot of folks coming and going. A lot of interesting sounds and smells. A lot of new faces. You would you'd even hear like music, but like from different locales. Like there's someone drumming. We'll say like picking at a guitar in the middle of the train station, but like you also hear, you think you hear like other instruments further out beyond within the streets.
Now, remember, guys, don't mention my last name.
What, Limsmith?
Yeah, please don't mention it here.
Well,
Oh, okay.
we usually don't.
I know, I'm just in case.
Okay. All right, so
But
where,
yeah,
Wait,
and
where,
that,
I need a
where to first?
yeah. What was the?
That
We
is
need a
a
recap
good
of
point.
what we were trying to do here.
Well,
yeah, that's fair.
Before the the Christmas mirror.
There
we
was
should
two
really
two
establish
monsters, right?
base of interest.
So you have a pretty good lead from confirming with one of the seven and Jarvis's vision that somewhere here there is another labyrinth.
And if I'm
Uh,
correct, it is. If I look at my vision. Grave Temple City.
So we asking folks around here about
So
Grave Temple City?
essentially, we should be asked. Well, I don't know how. I don't know how potent it is, but it's probably somewhere either deep under this city itself, or it's somewhere off and cordoned off. Basically, we should probably look. Well, we may have to find and/or interrogate some contractors.
I will say that the other thing that you're here for, at least more recently given to you, you found out where those homesteaders were being taken, and
Yeah, that's the other thing.
the representative of Bregendarth let you know about that and sort of was like, "Hey, you take them out for us and let us take their shit."
That's right.
If I'm
Okay.
correct, there's probably a correlation between the two and the temple.
Mm-hmm. And then I think a third thing that hasn't been touched on in quite a while, but is on Bruce's end. I do believe that letter was for here, was it not?
Yeah, the Bruce Buck's original letter.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
the Bruce Bucks letter. Yeah.
That was he did have a business proposition.
That's the real A plot.
Do you want to wait until after we're done?
Oh yeah, this is low priority.
Okay.
You think there's a labyrinth in the city? Or we gotta go out of the way to.
At least a temple that has a labyrinth. I don't know. Either we gotta find either a map that has locations of old civilizations, or like I said, we go find a contractor and start interrogating him.
Jeez.
That might be a very suspicious thing to do.
I know, but I can't think of any other methods right now.
Okay, well we don't have to go nuclear right off the bat.
Hold on. It ain't like they do the rounds in town anyway.
Well, I will say, as you're standing there, you do not see any contractors, but there are in fact Confederate soldiers that seem to be patrolling around.
So unless anyone, you could try some espionage if you're okay with that.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not particularly sneaky, but let me see. Do I have invisibility prepared? I do. I can make someone invisible and follow them if you want.
I can even give you Pip for a nice two-way radio if you need it.
Well, we got our ear thingamajigs.
Yeah, but that's only but that requires you to break your invisibility to use.
Why would it?
Because it's basically a long-range version of the message cantrip.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Well, we don't know.
This is more effective if we're like all separated and need to find each other and communicate maybe quietly.
I say we all run in different directions and then see what we find.
I mean, as long as we stay within a 500-foot right, 500-foot radius between each other, we could get across, separate, and
Okay.
communicate
That
while
ain't
looking
that
around.
big. We could split up a little
Wait.
bit.
Yeah, my question was, what was the other hint you had about this temple? Didn't you have like some like other hint, like one in a swamp or something like that? Is that all you had?
Right. But if that's the case, it would probably be past the river.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's another thing we can look for if we're going into even more wild environment. Look for large movement of feet. Large movement of feet. Look for large traffic. Signs of foot traffic. Other than that, I can't think of anything else.
We could just maybe look for, I don't know, talk to someone who seems like they're real into history or something.
Or we can go to a bar.
I always like that
Or,
idea.
or to the library.
Gross.
Dude, you enjoy libraries just as much as I do.
It's a necessary evil.
Mm.
But yeah, we could easily just start the bar to see how the people are there. Maybe even get a lay of how the local populace is.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright.
Also, wait, I talked to this like powerful wizard guy on the train, and he told me where to go. He might know something about it, you know, like magic and.
Are you sure that that's something we should seek out at this time?
Do you have any better ideas other than interrogating someone?
I said following them and listening in on them.
I guess, but I mean, we have somebody here that we can ask, rather than following and hope they say something, because it's like just two guards, right?
Fair point. I don't know how, but you're better with people than I am, and so are you, Ed.
Yeah, I talking to.
You are a better wordsmith than I am.
Yeah, but no, talking to wizards is hard. Except you.
It's all you need to do is be charismatic enough. You can go into technical bullshit.
Wow,
Well, yeah.
your
Why don't we try the?
book is so neat.
That'll get them every time. Why don't we try to the bar first and let Ed, you know, try to say a little something to the patrons, and then if that don't work, then we could try a little espionage, and if that don't work, then we'll try the magic guy.
Yeah. One little thing I would have done before getting off the train.
Yep.
I would have made sure that my metallic limbs had sleeves on them and my hands gloved.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. Uh, that comes down to there. Okay. I just got to keep some things in
How
mind.
many is that?
What?
You're drawing out a direction. I'm just thinking how many blocks that was.
I don't know. I wasn't counting. All right. So you start heading out of the train station, looking for a bar. Um. Okay. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think that one that I was looking for might be the closest one. All right, you start looking around, just kind of roaming a couple of blocks, and eventually, um, a young man, uh, with his what's all y'all's passive perceptions?
Minus 15.
If it's helpful,
70.
I'm
Why is mine-
rocking a 13,
8.
and Helfrina's rocking a 16.
17.
I'll say like anyone with a 15 or higher, you'd notice that this young man appears to be you think half elven, but he's like hiding the tips of his ears underneath a cap, like one of those like newsboy style caps.
What's the
And
color of
he's
his skin?
you said what?
What's the color of his skin?
I would say that it's light skinned, like light skin. You're not quite sure if he's like Hispanic or black.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Um,
There's a prejudice we can work on.
but he would kind of approach you guys, and you all stick out like a sore thumb around here.
What do you mean?
Well, he's bigger than regular folk, and not really
He's
hiding it.
brains. And his meat.
Oh, that's right. You guys put on disguises, didn't you?
We have
Oh, yeah.
disguises. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, Ed's still pretty fucking
He's
tall.
big.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked like a huge, like, blonde guy, right? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Like a giant Fabio.
It was something ridiculous. You guys took time to disguise.
I think I was a buff Native American.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that
were,
sounds
like,
about right.
literally,
The
like,
rolled up towels.
actual fabric. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He comes by and he just because Ed's big and yeah, he's just like you guys stick out like a sore thumb around here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You got that tourist vibe to you.
Oh, no shit. We just came off a fucking train.
Okay, relax.
So you never been to the Crescent City before?
No, we have not.
Well, for maybe. What are you looking for? Bars, best places to eat, best place to sleep, all three?
Can I make an insight check to see if this kid knows more than he's talking about?
What's his deal?
Sure, why not?
You're gonna get a cut of your
Yeah, that's
jib
like-
check.
Yeah, cut of your jib. Roll cut of your jib.
Yeah.
I don't know if this kid is just like talking about like he's a basic kid or he knows more than he's talking about.
But certainly giving a scammer.
Why am I at the fucking top?
Well, he rolled a 20 on his gumption.
Yeah.
No. What stats ought to be named? No. You kind of looking him up and down and getting a vibe for him. You think I mean he's definitely a native. He seems to know his way around, and I mean at least in terms of what you're looking for. And I mean he was up front. He said for a price. How much though? You're not sure. You don't know what it's going to cost you.
Ed, you got this? You want me to attack him?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, we're looking for bars. Is it hard to find a bar around here just by walking?
Not particularly, but you wanna find a place that can accommodate you, right? Also, a place that has good atmosphere. That I can recommend.
What about a bar that's got a lot of people in it? Who got a lot to say?
Got a lot to say. Oh, okay.
Trying
Are
to check
you-
out for our new, destination. that what that means?
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. You want info?
I take out a gold piece.
Do you?
Yeah.
Kind of like eyes it out of the corner of his eye. You want info then?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah,
And
but info about what? What do you want to know?
any large-scale movement of normal people, not willingly.
Large scale movement of normal people not willingly. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I might know something. But
I take out another gold.
if I were you, I wouldn't ask those questions out in the public. He'll kind of look around and head over to the French Quarter. Look for a drawing of a lantern, and then he'll hold his hand out.
Do you guys want to follow?
I think he wants money.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought we were
he's
following him
done his
through
part.
there.
He's done his part.
I give him his gold.
Unless you particularly want to hold his hand.
He does not look like he wants any of you to hold his hand. He'll take the gold, kind of like give you a little tip of the cap, and then after checking the authenticity of the gold and making sure it's
gold.
not like, Electrum
old
or some
gold, but it's
bullshit
gold.
like that. Yeah, and he pockets it and just runs off.
All right, now insight check. Did he just scam us?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I just want to know if he was completely bullshitting all of that. Amazing.
What does my
I
insight tell
support
me?
local business.
Yeah. You support local businesses. You're really not sure. You're really not sure, but with how quick it happened and how little you had to go on, maybe you were.
So you're saying it's a drawing? You said it was a drawing of a lamp?
Yep, drawing of a lantern.
Does it seem to be pointing? Does it seem like an arrow by it pointing anywhere?
Should find one of them drawings first.
Like, is it just a drawing of a lantern, or is there other symbols by it?
He would have just said, "Look for a drawing of a lantern."
Oh, look for a drawing of a lantern. Okay, I misheard.
Yeah, we ain't seen it yet.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, time to figure out what a French Quarter is.
So let's go to the French Quarter. Keep an eye out while we also look for a bar.
Oh, it's a place. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a currency.
Oh, it was a bar.
No, I believe
bars, and then you say go to the French Quarter.
No, I believe it's a section of the city. Did you not read the little
Stop right there.
little entry?
Oh yeah.
No.
Stop right there. Did you just ask Ed if he
No,
read
I
something?
did not.
Did you not look at the map at the train station?
I have never known how maps work.
I will teach you someday. But not
No need. I'm going this way. You tell me if I'm going the wrong way.
I'm assuming there's signs.
Great.
To say that,
Someone else
I
is
mean,
going after
very
you.
much like how, on the map, a fair number of these are labeled. Yeah, there's signs. They're
Okay,
labeled.
is it to use the signs to direct us to this French Quarter.
I don't know if back then they would have had signs to be like, "You're now entering the French Quarter." I mean, maybe now for tourism purposes, but in 1860, I think it was kind of like you needed to know where the French Quarter was.
Yeah,
But
I
you
think
could
it's
ask around if you
some-
want. I'll say you can make a general charisma check to see if you could get someone to tell you where to go.
You got it, Ed.
Hey,
Smack
someone
him
know
on his
what
ass
the
for
French
some
Quarter? We're
guidance.
saying persuasion.
Sure, persuasion works.
Persuasion.
I slap him with some guidance.
You're a slapper with some guidance.
Oh, slap
Right in the
ass.
Woo! That's the only way you give guidance.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to find this older African gentleman sitting on a street corner, strumming away at a guitar. And you'd ask him what a French Quarter is.
Hey guy, what's a?
Uh,
You know what a French Quarter is?
I don't know where to find a French Quarter.
Oh yeah.
You gotta head. Hold on, what are you on right now? What street are you on? Oh, you are on Basin. All right. He'd point and he'd say, "You follow Basin down that way, and then about the time you see a sign for, yeah, I think that's Canal Street there. That one's really blurry. You see a sign for Canal, you're gonna make a right, and then
Sorry,
any
which light's this
street,
down,
any street south of Rampart is the French Quarter."
I write that down.
No, someone else has got that.
I got it right here.
And
Alright.
I think I did remember that, right? Yeah, everything south of Rampart is the French Quarter.
I'll talk. Does he have like a little? Is he playing for money or just playing?
He didn't have anything out. He seemed to have like picked a spot and was just strumming.
Just vibing out.
But
Yeah, he's
no
just
one looks
vibing.
like they got some coins to him at all, or cash.
No, like
No, he didn't.
Case. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing.
All right. Thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah, I won't interrupt your playing no more.
Anytime. Welcome to our fair city. I hope it treats you as well as it's treated me.
Damn, people here are nice.
Yeah, we're just getting lucky for right now. Ed, wrong turn. We gotta go the other way.
What?
I just wanted to say that.
He gets to Canal and then you go, no, wrong way. Uh-oh.
No, I'm sorry. What the hell is my brother sending me?
But
Yeah.
you start walking down Canal, and you would have eventually passed Rampart, and you're pretty sure that you're in the area that he mentioned. You're not quite sure what street to check first, but there are a multitude of them.
Well,
Eyes out
everyone
for
keep
lamp.
your eye out for a bar and a lantern. Or drawing of a lantern, correct?
Drawing of a lantern, that is correct.
Alright. Remember, a drawing of a lantern.
As you watch a man draw a lantern from his coat. No.
Oh, 'cause that's
I would
a
also like
real
to be
lantern.
keeping. I'd like to be keeping an eye out for a church.
Okay. Trying to think, because there's a few of those. I think
Dude,
when
we got a
you
fucking Catholic up in his bitch.
One with a red candle.
yes, yeah. So I think when you had passed Rampart, I believe there's a church over there because that's around. Hold on, that's around where the graveyard is, and then there's think, where is it? I saw the Protestant graveyard. There's supposed to be another church over there, but I think that's a Protestant church. Um, yeah. Protestant cemetery. I think that's the other church over there. So you might have seen that when you were up on base and off in that direction. I've seen a steeple. So here, I think around here, and I think for the public square, I think there's another one right there. Those are like the closest ones to you. Beyond that, I'm at a loss. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm just keeping an eye out for a red candle.
Okay. All right. What time of day is it? I think you guys had gotten here.
On Mardi Gras. No, I'm joking.
No.
When is Mardi Gras, anyways?
April-ish.
Yeah, definitely not right after Christmas. Yeah. Make a perception check. See if you see. Because you were walking within proximity. See if you would have seen a red candle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that because churches would have been steeple-wise noticeably taller than most buildings in this current time and in this location, you picked out 3 churches. You didn't see a candle in any of them, though.
Got it.
No.
Mardi Gras is next month, guys.
Oh, it's not.
It is February.
Mardi Gras in February?
January, February. Yep.
That doesn't sound right. There's no way.
It was in March this year. It was in February last year.
Oh wow.
What's the year
Oh,
currently?
1869.
when was Mardi Gras? In 1869. Wait, is it 1870
That's
now?
gonna be February 14th.
Is what?
February 14th is Mardi Gras.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
So
is
yeah,
it-
it's 1860.
Did we get to 1870?
No, we're on 69.
Oh
aren't
my
we?
God, you're right. You're right.
We
I'm so
are-
stupid.
Damn it,
Did
you.
we not just fucking New Year's it up, dude?
You did. You're right. You're absolutely right. You are in 1870. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fucking New Year's.
Yeah, because you spent
Sorry,
3
my
days
bad.
on the train, and I think that was like immediately after the meeting with the Sins. So today should be like January 4th or 5th. I think it is January 5th.
Sick.
Oh, it's March 1st. My bad.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, January 5th. No, God damn it, not 69. Why did I do that again? 70. Okay. All right. But yeah, as you start walking down in that direction, yeah, you end up coming along. We'll say, where is that one?
I wonder what it's,
Where?
I know it's 1870, but what does the air smell like? I know it's a weird question, but the smell of a place can actually give us a lot of information, more than you think.
Close to the water.
Yeah, yeah. So you definitely get a multitude of things. I would say that you would smell a lot of in certain areas of the city, probably in closer proximity to the bars, because I was about to say I think you've just stumbled upon one. So you probably smell like some stale beer slash liquor. You'd smell that sort of not quite ocean, but definitely like big muddy
Big water.
river, big water, big muddy river smell. You definitely smell some good food, but then also, like, because of the time period, there's probably a fair bit of
Shit.
you know poorly smelling people, because hygiene standards aren't great. Um, I mean, unless you're a wizard, and then you can just kind of handle that yourself,
The
but not
rest.
everyone's magically inclined. And yeah, probably like some shit and stuff, and like, yeah, so just a whole bunch of mix of stuff, and then like beyond the typical din of like people talking and moving, and like the occasional like ringing of bells from church steeples, you definitely would hear like a multitude of different music playing from different areas. Sometimes more blues, other times like a little bit more jazzy. Which I don't quite know if jazz is like fully
Not yet. Not yet.
invented yet. I don't.
That's later, like 1890.
So then I guess it'd be more blues and like folksy would probably be more accurate. But you'd hear like a lot of different people like in different areas, because like right from what I remember reading about the city, it was always very big with its like artists and music. So I imagine, you know, if people had the time and were there for that, they would just, find a reason to play, and then they would. Sometimes for money, sometimes for themselves, sometimes for others. But the city is very much alive. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Jazz doesn't happen until like the late 19th century.
okay. But yeah, where was I? I was just looking at the thing. That one's there. Where's that one? I
Kind of
know
reminds
it
me a little bit of
was.
New York, but wetter.
uh, Bourbon Street?
You don't have to be exact, dude.
Well, sure. I'll say you eventually, yeah, you wind up down Bourbon Street and you find, what is the name of this place? Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar.
Wait, it's a Smithy and bar? That seems dangerous.
I
But okay.
mean, yeah. So you would see it looks like a mostly nondescript, sort of brick cement building, and yeah, it looks like it has like a little brick fireplace that kind of like comes it comes up through the roof. It's small, but inviting. There's a multitude of candles lit inside, and lanterns outside lit. There's a few little tables right outside of the door. Uh, but yeah, there's people. Doors frequently opening and closing. New people going in. Some people coming out. Apparently, it is also the oldest bar in New Orleans, built sometime between 1722 and 1732.
Take an hour or two here before
Yeah. And as we're going in, I'm just gonna look for a drawing of a lantern, like by the door.
A lot of real ones.
Oh, I'm really stupid. It didn't become a bar until the 20th century. Well, you know what? Who cares? It's a bar now.
It's a bar.
It's ahead of its time now. It's ahead of
Yep,
its time now.
it's ahead of its time. Yeah, okay. You look for something like that. Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna slap myself with some guidance. Comedic effect. I actually slapped myself.
Some people look at you
Sometimes.
like you're weird and wonder why.
I don't know. I want to make myself laugh.
He's a freaky guy.
Yeah, you look around, and you would see, you all start to like walk in through the doorway. Carved into the door jamb, what appears to be a little lantern, and you almost would have missed it because of just the dark, but the door opening and the candlelight, shining on it very briefly, you noticed the indentation and got a chance to look at it.
Is it just a lantern, or is it like a little symbol inside?
It just seems to be like a little, like lantern.
Ooh.
Does that count?
Yes, it does.
Well, I'm sure we've passed other lanterns.
Yeah, but I have clever words in my mouth. Why did I say that?
Oh.
I'm just gonna let's just go inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it would probably be something very let's see if I can not get epic embed fail. Famously never get embed fails.
Never has. If
Alright,
it
cool.
win.
But yes, you head in and yeah, I'll say, you know what? Why not? The place is a combination of the two. It seems like they don't do a whole lot more smithing, but there's a fair bit of horseshoes hung from the ceiling, different like things that they would have commissioned a smithy for, like what do they call it, like a plow shod, just maybe a couple little intricate metalworks here and there, like a few like candle sconces and like some wrought irons you see, and even just bizarrely enough, like larger like railroad spikes, but then they took some like house building nails and just kind of like hammered them into a curl to hold the railroad spikes there so that they could be like properly displayed.
Okay.
And like the building would, the main portion of the building, the back wall is like where the bar would be. There's a bunch of tables and chairs. Immediately, we'll say to the left of the door that you just walked in would be where the fireplace is, which it's kind of like lowly crackling. It's not like too big of a roaring fire. It's kind of like almost on the verge of just being embers. And then there's sort of like a bigger open area along the left-hand wall, close into another room that you think used to be the blacksmithing area, that the forge just now just kind of lies dead, and a lot of the implements and tools are still hung up, but the area is like lit up so people can see it. And yeah.
Well, let's sidle on in and get damn drink.
Yep.
I will saddle.
So, all right, so you walk in, you head over in the direction of the bar. You find a table big enough to accommodate all of you. Pretty close to the bar too. Who's going up and ordering drinks?
I'll go up and order a damn drink.
Alright.
What do y'all want? Beer?
Yeah.
If they have gin.
Gin. Alright. I'll get a. How what Walter gets at bars.
I think he like sometimes gets a beer,
He's getting a damn beer.
right?
Alright.
Okay.
Let's see. 3 beers.
I feel like
3
Aaron would
beers.
order something closer to something modern. I don't know what he'd get.
Sarsaparilla is the closest to like any soda.
He's getting a fucking Aperol Spritz. Hell no. So that's
Yeah, you're on
4,
Bourbon Street.
4 beers,
Bourbon.
gin. Oh, that's good. Bourbon, 3 beers, gin. And what's a
Like Wilfred just drinks wine.
yeah, well, glass of
Well,
wine. And what's a New Orleans special beverage? What do y'all like here? Are Sazeracs a thing yet? Let's see. Because that one I know is a New Orleans classic.
I don't know. Sazerac Hurricane.
As of 18, the company was founded in 1869.
Was it really?
The cocktail was created in the mid 1800s.
What's the cocktail?
It's like a cognac, bitters, like absinthe rinse with some sugar.
Yeah, why not? I'll say.
I'll try anything.
Yeah, they'll offer that. Yeah, they'll say they have a Sazerac. Yeah.
All right, how much for all of that?
You said 3 beers. Wine. Fuck. Let's call it. Be silver, and then. Uh, 2 golds, 7 silver.
2 gold, 7. I'll spot y'all. Yeah, why not? All right. And I will come back with some drinks.
Already. I don't think I've heard of that one before. That's right. I gotta get down there one of these days.
Yeah, I've never been. All right, so what you saying you saw the drawing?
Yep.
So what now?
Well, we got our drinks. Let's drink a bit. Then I'm gonna go over to the bartender and attempt to get. I'm going to attempt to talk to him.
I'm going to attempt to have conversation with another human.
You sure?
Okay.
About this?
Are you positive you want to talk to another person?
Look, I'm not gonna get better talking to people if I don't fucking try.
That's great.
And if I
I'm proud
fail
of you.
miserably, then please take over.
I'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you. How much of the gin is there?
How much of the gin is there? I don't know. They would have poured you. Yeah, there you go. They got you double, yeah. They got you double.
I do a good swig.
Double on the rocks.
That's fine.
I don't know if they'd have ice, but they definitely put a
they would
rock in
not.
it when you
They
said
would
it. No.
The rock. Yes,
On the
sir.
rock.
How the fuck is there a stone in here?
I said on the rock. Aaron said that once.
I toss it.
Oh.
I take a swig, and I go over to the bar.
Wonders why you wanted a pebble in your fucking drink. You walk over to the bar.
So cool when he says it.
Oh, bartender.
Uh, yeah, what can I do for you?
I've noticed your lantern's not lit by the door.
I might have to light a candle then.
I'm curious if you know anything about some people who have been going missing.
Folk been going missing around these parts.
Not necessarily here, but say lots of people being forcibly moved to a area by unsavory folk. We were told that a place of this marking would be a source of suitable information.
Uh, I see. Well, I, as a bartender, am knowledgeable about a large number of things. As to what you're specifically talking about, I don't rightfully know. Um,
I
yeah.
take out some coins and put them on the table.
I want to make an insight check just to see if anything about this conversation is making the bartender uncomfortable.
You can make that since you're technically close enough.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I did. I said I'd keep an eye out. If I need
Yeah,
to
you
swoop
did. You
in,
did. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure.
oh, I would not have
You do
guidance
13.
anymore. So let's take the 13.
Okay. um, he would look at the money and he would say, yeah, 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 yeah. If you're talking about parcels, I know about a fair number of them been moving through here lately.
Very scarce like.
But they've been moving out.
Do you know where?
That's not for me to know.
I put a couple extra coins down.
He would push the money back towards you. It don't work that way.
Then what
Parcels
the
go to different stations. Where they go from there is up to the station master.
gotcha.
You have some parcels you want to send out?
I'm looking for several who are that may not want to be here. Taken by some of the local strong arms. maybe some mystically inclined folk.
Okay.
You Jarvis,
I think I've
I
done enough
am
time to
trying
swoop
so
in here.
hard this is both me, Anton, trying to figure out how to badly charismatically speak this.
I think I'm going to swoop in here.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
Hey Jarvo, I think you're saying
There's things I
too
could
much.
say that would make sense, but it wouldn't be within Jarvis's parameters.
Yeah, you did great.
I leave 3 gold on the counter.
Yeah, I'll take a seat, and I'll just say, hey, you don't. I mean, everyone could use coin,
Back to
but you don't actually. You're not that kind of guy, are you?
I'm sorry. Wait. What did you ask him? Because that you cut out for me.
Oh, sorry. Um, I was just looking at the coins on the table. Everyone could use some coin, but you're not that kind of guy, right?
No, I make a fair amount with my job here. If you're looking to see some parcels get mailed, I could handle that for you. Especially with the war, a lot of correspondence needs to go across the lines.
Yeah, well, we got the impression that we'd have some friends in an establishment like this. We're new here. We're trying to find our way. So maybe if you're talking about stations, if we have an idea of where some of the parcels go, that might be helpful to us. We're not trying to intercept or steal or nothing. Just some things we're trying to figure out.
If you want to get in on the cause, wait until after midnight. Go to, yeah, and say, um, go to, let me make sure I get this right. Go to Circus Square.
Circus Square after midnight.
Head there. Look for Marie.
She's someone who looks easy to find.
You know her when you see her.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, and I'm sorry about that. He's still kind of trying to figure things out. What the fuck is in that drink? It was crazy.
Oh. The Sazerac?
Is that what that was?
Oh, there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
What
maybe I'll
is it
get
there?
used to it. Maybe I'll get used to it. Here.
You rinse out the glass with absinthe, and then
Yeah, it's one of those cocktails.
bourbon, rye, and then bitter. So it's like like an old fashioned, but like they
With
do.
absence.
It's like a.
Yeah, they
I feel like I'm oversimplifying, but
they Frenchify it a little bit.
yeah, I got a lemon heel instead of an orange peel. Okay, All right. I'd try that. I'd try that once. But yeah, sure. He'll give you a lowdown of what it is.
All right.
He'll give you the download.
Amazing. All right, sit back down at the table. All right. Jarvo, I have notes.
Please tell me before I kill myself with alcohol.
So, here's something I've noticed. When you are talking with people and you're having a hard time, you tend to try to,
Hard.
well, sure, but then you also try to solve the problem with money. And then that defeats the purpose of trying to do better with words, because you should be able to solve that problem with words instead. And then when you try and bring money into it, then you're just kind of bailing. You're just bailing out, and then it's
I
not
thought
about.
he wanted me to grease. I thought he wanted me to grease the wheels. I didn't fucking know.
Well, you get okay. So there's a time and place for greasing your whatever, but start by being a little more, I don't know, forthright about yourself. I'm just trying to like, I'm having a hard time with this. People might find that endearing. I don't know. You're being humble with us. But you could also be humble with other people.
All right, Bruce, did it look that bad from where you were sitting?
Well, I'll put it this way. I've never seen someone say no to free money, but he did.
Is the gold still there?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't take it. He didn't want it. He didn't take the money.
So
I guess I'll just go back.
yeah, I'll scoop it.
Yep, thank you. Do you give it back to me or?
No, keep it for yourself.
Take a second, and then I give it back to you.
Thank you. So
I think we got what we wanted. So something about going to Circus Square after midnight and looking for a lady named Marie.
And you sure this isn't some accidental whorehouse situation?
Either way, it's a win.
If you look, Dar,
I don't know.
only when you talk to women after midnight is when there's a sort of lady of the night. Well, I guess the lady. She will be a lady at night, but not a lady of the night.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What the fuck were you drinking?
You want to try it? It's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
A lot
let me
going on
finish
in there.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is a
Is
crazy
it fucking
town.
sense?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I know beer.
What the hell?
Anyway, interesting stuff. I'll be trying it again.
What time is it right now?
I think you guys had gotten here in the evening, so I'd say that it's you spent like a good hour or two walking around just looking for stuff. So yeah, we'll say it's like 8 o'clock maybe.
And is there a local map in the bar?
In the bar.
In the bar, no.
Gonna try.
I would wager that there was a map in the train station that Aaron saw and T.S. keybind.
Okay.
God damn it!
Owned? Are you owned? You feeling
There-
owned, Dylan?
I'm feeling very owned right now.
wanna go
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't want to go that route because it was kind of cheating, but
There
it
would
is
have
what it
been,
is.
of all the places, that would have been a place to have one. And oh my
Aaron,
god, he
do
does
you
have
know
keen mind.
where
Damn, dude, I gotta.
the circus district is?
Yeah, I think I got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, he would know that it is just north of Rampart Street.
So we got maybe a few hours to kill. We want to explore the nightlife, or are we on business?
I would like to have a clear head at least.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah, actually,
Have you ever fought drunk against the wizard?
Have I fought
Wait, what am I
drunk?
saying? Yes, you have. What am I
I
saying?
fought drunk against the wizard when he was turned into a giant monkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Forgot about
So
that.
yes, I
Fuck.
did.
Okay. Well, you're drunk and the wizard is sober.
it's a trick question.
Yeah.
I think I can handle it.
In other words, I'm trying to say I would rather be cognizant of my surroundings when against a tricky foe than be out of it when my foe isn't.
Okay, Marie's probably a nice lady. I don't think we're gonna get in a fight tonight.
No, I'm not saying her. I'm just saying other people
You're right.
because
You never know.
we're
never know.
technically we're in unsavory territory.
I can handle my liquor. You can have both.
Okay,
Men are in
Jarvis.
town. They got fucked up cocktails here. Shit.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. As I'm
When was
saying
the
that,
hurricane made?
um, because
Ah,
Jarvis getting that weird paranoid feeling in his neck since remembering back to Machina and how his folks work for him. Do I see any folk missing limbs in this area?
1940s. Go perception check.
I'm gonna slap myself with some guidance.
Actually, well, you roll it anyway. But I'm going to ask: is this just you looking around in the bar, or is this you looking around outside of the bar?
I'm just looking in the bar. I'm
Yeah.
basically looking at arms, limbs, and though it's doubtful, tails. Though I doubt there's going to be any races here with tails due to, well, south.
Yeah. Roll it.
I see nothing.
You
Unless
see
it's
a guy with a hook hand.
Okay.
Yarr. Arr.
Yar, matey.
Yeah.
I was out sailing the old Mississippi when I took a cannon broadside to me raft. That's when I lost me hand. No.
The cannonball.
The
No,
roiling
fucking-
waves of the
fucking
Mississippi.
gator came back.
Oh, the ruddy Mississippi tried to suck me down to her bed.
Actually, I am curious about something. You know how back in Washington they had the druids there, right?
Washington.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think there's any druids of the swamp here?
Druids of the swamp.
Yo, druids of the swamp.
Is that how druids
Yeah.
work?
It could be.
I don't know.
Damn. Yeah, maybe.
Because isn't New Orleans supposed to have a good gator population? Got to keep some people got to keep it in check.
Yeah, we should ask Lane about that.
Unless they got lizard folk here, keeping them in check.
Is that how that works?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the lizard folk eat the alligator.
More like they domesticate them.
Yeah, they definitely don't ride them into battle. They don't ride old Toby, the fucking 13-foot alligator, into battle.
You have not seen some lizard folk sheets, have you?
Where they're basically just the alligators themselves.
Where they freaking shape shift into them.
Oh god, weird gators.
No, druids.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Sounds like Billy Stump.
But
Yes.
anyways, is there anywhere you would like to go exploring? Within walking distance, so we can stay on time.
Sure. How bustling is the night? Is there like some sort of nighttime open bar situation? Constant partying in New Orleans?
I mean, like, from Wikipedia article, it seems like it's always been a very lively city. So I'd say that it might not be to like modern day standards of getting fucked up on Mardi Gras, but I'd say that there's definitely
I feel like
a
by
nightlife.
asking you, I'm willing that into existence.
Well, here's the question: Are there people fucking the street?
Are there people fucking in the street? Not that you can see.
Okay,
They're not
fucking the
fucking.
street.
There's only like moderate PDA, probably.
because certain festivals like that can get fucking.
But it's not Mardi Gras.
Yeah, we don't have
know,
beads.
that's what I'm
We don't
saying.
have beads, so nobody's flashing their titties.
Yeah,
There's
we're
a
not at that degree. You could come back for Mardi Gras if the Spirit Chasers so desire, but that'll be another one shot.
Yeah, damn, I'll be flashing my titties for beads. Shit.
God damn.
Just don't flash anything else.
I'll say that like enough people are around, and also like if you ask now, because like you're in the bar, like, oh, are there other places, and then they would like let you know where some of the other bars are, and yeah. So I mean, like if that's what you're looking to do, and some of them aren't just straight up bars. Some of them are also like like restaurant/tavern mixes. So you'd be able to rent a room if that's what you wanted to do, or get something to eat. But I will say though, because I think that this would sound about right. Within the French Quarter, you
How
would
French is it?
notice how French is it? You would notice a lot more humanoids. Whereas like previously, like when you were in Jacksonville and when you were outside of the French Quarter, like the only person that you saw that was not like a straight regular human were the like 2 kobold caravan reps at the train station and the half elf kid. But yeah, you'd catch a few you'd catch a few like you'd see some elves, you'd see some dwarves. You would yeah, that's all you'd see.
Okay, no Goliaths.
Not at this moment.
Okay. Because they probably see through the disguise. But that's fine.
Yeah.
They probably got the same problems I do.
But yeah, so I'll say, what are y'all doing?
Getting around, damn it.
You just getting around? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
minus Jarvo.
Minus.
Because he said no.
You don't want to get around.
He said he wants a clear head or whatever.
I can still be a clear head and follow you guys around.
Yeah, but no beer.
No beer for you.
Skill.
Beer for you.
Zeus ball.
Zeus ball.
Do you want to hold the Zeus ball?
Yeah, give me the fucking Zeus ball.
I let him hold the Zeus ball. It's inanimate right now. It's just a ball. Just a metal sphere.
It's not just a ball. It's Zeus ball we're talking about.
Fucking ridiculous. All right. You hit up a few places. I don't know what else is in that immediate area, but we'll say that you find like 2 other bars.
Yeah, maybe in like pop-ups.
Yeah, like little stuff. You find some stuff. And
I'm curious. I look around their buildings, right?
yeah, buildings.
I also look in a similar spot on like the door where I saw the lantern.
So yeah, so when you enter the 2 other bars, yeah, I'll say that somewhere on the door frame of both of them, you will see the lantern.
Hmm. You know what? I'm just gonna be upfront with it this time. I go to the bartender.
Okay.
I ask for a gin.
So yes,
All right.
Because being respectful. I ask, so what's with the lantern carving?
A lot of folk around here like to leave their mark. Some folk carve into the tables.
What does the lantern
Others, the
mean?
bar. Was it mean?
Yeah, by the door.
Could mean anything.
This
What
is
does it
going
mean
great
to
so
you?
far.
he's killing.
What does it mean to you?
I don't know. Maybe that this place has light. That it's like a lighthouse.
A safe haven?
Perhaps a bay to find yourself in the dark of night for some good company and a drink.
Who leaves those marks?
That I'm not sure of. As I said, folk carve into the tables, the bar. Who had done it, couldn't tell you.
I drank my drink. I pay for it. Thanks.
Anytime. It's just fucking. I don't know why I started doing the pirate thing.
I don't know. Is it good? It felt appropriate.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It felt appropriate. And you know what? And we'll say the name of this bar. Safe Harbor.
Hmm.
But eventually, the time starts to roll around.
And Ed is drunk off his ass.
I don't know if Ed's drunk off his ass,
No, I'm saying because he said BRB.
but you've all had as many drinks as you would like to have, and then you eventually head up north, go on to Rampart Street, and eventually enter the area that Aaron would remember with his keen mind to be Circus Square. When you get there, there would be I would say a large gathering of people. And I mean like quite large, like a solid almost 500 people or so. You would watch as some of them on like the outskirts of the square seem to be just kind of milling around, looking to each other, perhaps gathering to watch the proceedings. You would notice a fair bit of, as before, it would seem to be there'd be elves, dwarves, some Goliaths, providing ranges of the square. You think you might even see an ogre, some orcs, as well as you're not quite sure if it's an ogre or a half ogre. Definitely has the size and the smell, and just a multitude. Like you think you might see like one person. You think at first they're a dragonborn, then you're like, wait, no, maybe that's a lizard folk. You see like two genasi, but beyond them, you would also see a fair number of what appear to be people of African descent.
Huh?
And towards the middle of the square,
And I'm the whitest ghost here.
you would begin to hear as like you approach closer, which strangely sound like, to those of you that would know it, Catholic prayers. And they would, a lot of the people more towards the center of the square would all just kind of be praying in unison, much like how when you go to church and the words, the priest would lead you in prayer. But then you would also notice too that some other little groups would like be off to the side, like to the fringes of the square proper, and it seems like they themselves would be doing something similar. They would be saying these Catholic prayers, but like those of you from Faerun, you would notice like the symbology and the rituals that they are attempting to do while saying these prayers are not to the Christian God. There's a group that seem to be praying to Mistra or Mistara, whichever one. I always get that confused. Another one that seems to be praying to Tempest, and they would in fact not so much be praying as they would be dancing, like a battle dance, very vigorous, almost akin to a mosh pit, but not quite. They're not striking one another, but they're dancing very, very feverishly in a very almost like militaristic rhythm. And there would be another group that they seem to be praying to. I almost said the Moonweaver, Saloon, and and they're off kind of doing their own thing. But you see that there's like this gathering, these multitudes of different cultures, and they're strangely mixing whatever their own personal religion is with some aspect of Christianity. And you would notice that like there would be some onlookers beyond the square itself that seem to just kind of be like observing what's going on. You think you see a priest off over in the distance. But yeah, so there's just this big, massive crowd of like 500 people, and they're all off in their different groups, and you're just kind of standing on the fringe of this. So like, what are you guys doing as you sort of take this all in? Yeah, you would have gotten around. Yeah, maybe like a couple minutes after.
Have you guys ever seen anything like this before?
No, definitely not.
Have I ever seen anything like this before in New York?
No.
Oh. Well,
No, you wouldn't see any Sunni enjoyers, but I don't know if you caught the part when I said that because there's these other mixed races of like Faerunian Tyrillian descent that you would have seen that there seemed to be some Goliaths that they're kind of like providing security almost. Like they're kind of off on the edge of the square towards like Rampart Street and just kind of like keeping anybody that doesn't anyone unsavory away from what's going on. I will say though that a few of them are over with that group that seems to be praying to Tempest and are just dancing along with the others in prayer. Well, you're much taller, so you would, in fact, and you do have a high passive perception. You would see towards the center of the group, yes, where there's the larger gathering of what appear to be African American people. There is this much older woman. I believe at this point she would be in her 70s.
It's the Marie, I think it is.
It is the Marie you think it is.
Yes,
Yes.
she would be about 70.
Yes. And despite her age, though, very, very active and seems to be leading them in some sort of ritual in which some of the participants would seem to channel something. You're not quite sure what, and then, but they would seem overjoyed by it, and so would the others around them.
Does it look like she's
Try-
using some sort of magic? Not that I really know much about that.
Make an Arcana check.
Yes. Finally. Now's my chance to shine.
Glorious.
oh,
Give me a -1,
you,
please.
you know something about some magic.
Ooh.
That's not bad for a -1.
Pretty damn good.
Yes, as you observe what's going on, there does seem to be from the start that you caught and like what it's moving into now, there seems to be like this strange combination of some of the stuff that you've noticed before from like the Church of the Reckoning, but then whatever their own specific faith is, and there does seem to be this. You're not quite sure if it's magical in the sense of like arcanely inclined.
Or like stuff like what Marcus does.
It definitely seems more Marcus related. There does seem to be like an aspect of divinity to this. You don't feel as though anything like negative is coming from it. And as I said, they seem overjoyed when they undergo the process, this sort of this channeling of, you think it might be, you're not quite sure what it is, but they do seem almost like relieved when it happens, and others around them too. They seem quite happy for them.
Okay. All right, y'all. The lady we're looking for is in the middle of all that.
Oh.
I think it would be rude to butt in right now, though.
Yeah, I agree.
So just wait until they're done.
I could talk to the people who are kind of on security. To see what they think. They've
Yeah, do
probably
that.
done this before.
Is it me, or do I look out of place here?
Uh,
Yeah.
I think when you look in there, most people around town look out of place.
No, I mean specifically right here.
I think they're occupied, so I think you're okay.
Okay.
I mean, you have like red eyes and white hair. You're a
I'm
little
white
freaker
on
compared to
most.
most people. Yeah, I mean, if anything, these people would accept you compared to other regular people.
Yeah, but I'm only like this due to trauma and just having pale skin.
Yeah, but I mean,
They
you're
don't know
still a
that.
little bit of a freaker. Yeah, they don't know that you're a freaker. So I mean, no.
We're all
I'm
freakers here.
We're all
the
freakers here.
earliest versions of a cyborg around here.
But they're not supposed to know
Um,
that. Oh yeah, I'll
yeah,
walk up
yeah.
to some of the like two Goliaths who are.
Yeah, all right. They kind of like what one of them. I'll say that like he would have been eyeing your group when you like kind of stopped and started taking stuff in, and as you kind of like walk over, he'll kind of like move along the outskirt of the crowd to like get closer to you, but not like too far away from the group, and kind of like stops and crosses his arms and looks you up and down. So, what are you doing here? You don't seem like the type of folk to get involved in this sort of thing.
I will respond in giants, and I will say, yeah. So you could probably tell this was a disguise. My friends and I are not from here, and we wish to have an audience with Marie, and don't want to interrupt anything else that's going on. And so I'd just like your help.
He'll answer back in giant. All right. I guess I can do that. You want to be all respectful about it, so I appreciate that. If you'd been here to cause some trouble, well, things would have had to go differently.
And that would
Once
be a shame.
everything wraps up. You say you would be ashamed?
I said that would be a shame, but go on.
That'd be a shame. Everything wraps up. I'll bring you over, introduce you. It's not a half bad disguise, though.
Right, I assumed that it would give me trouble. Does it? Does it cause you problems here?
Well, most of us here, after we came through, we got snatched up right quick. So, trouble, the only trouble we get is if we don't work.
So people have forced you into work.
As you can see, no shackles, but they keep our families. Some of them all too eager to work. As soon as they got here, maybe wanted a new opportunity, didn't care about how they were treated, but the rest of us didn't sit right with us. They take a family, a friends, put some of them in shackles, others, they use magic. If we don't do what they say, well, he just kind of like draws a thumb across his neck.
So I guess the disguise was the right choice.
If you hadn't been accounted for, they would have snatched you up too. but your secret's safe with me.
Oof. Well, thank you. What's your name? My name is Elthar.
Fucking names. Always with the names. Give me a second.
What's his name? Generic NPC number 301.
What's your mother's name?
What is your grandfather's uncle's brother's
My
sibling?
mother's name is Pimeo, and my name is Ardath.
Ardath. Well met. I will be seeing you.
And are you?
I'll walk away. Whew.
There you go.
Damn, I'm
That's his name.
real glad I got
Ardath
a
Stoneface.
fucking disguise. Shit. But yeah,
Why would it be
once party's over, we'll get to talk with Marie. Yeah, I would. Yeah, well, it was either that or I would have had to pretend to be your slave or whatever. They would have tried to scoop me up.
Oh,
So we were
I would
right.
have killed
That was a
anyone.
thing that happens.
Okay, well, let's make sure our disguises are on good.
Yeah, do I need any touch-ups?
I think
Yeah,
you
I'll
look fine.
say Aaron would be able to provide them because I think he still has the disguise kit. So if anyone
Yeah, I haven't been
felt like they needed it,
I haven't been really active. I don't sweat that much. It's just not a thing I do.
Bruce's muscles might need some adjusting.
Yeah,
Yeah, make 'em bigger.
Everything's kind of bunched up in
Make
your,
him big.
make them bigger.
Bruce,
Everything's kind
gonna
of bunched up in your wrists. Let me help you out with that.
Just shift around padding, and then you'll be all good.
It's a little weird that your forearms are about as thick as your upper arms, but I think people won't care too much.
I make sure to fix it so at least looks anatomically correct.
Yeah, so you spend a little time just checking your disguises. And after, we'll say like a good 45-ish minutes or so, closer to an hour, eventually things start to die down and different groups will begin to sort of break off. Some of them will remain in the sense of like maybe one or two people per like the different groups of worship will stay behind. And as the others depart, the rest will sort of like converge on Marie's location. And I would say at that point, Ardath would look over towards you guys and just kind of, signal for you to follow him as he very slowly, but respectively, kind of pushes his way through the crowd.
I will do the very gentle, but giant 8'6" guy being like, "Excuse me, excuse me."
Yeah. So I'll say eventually, a couple of people, you would see like there's this much older looking elf, and as well as a dwarf that would be conversing with her. And then she would just kind of see Ardath approaching and then see that there are people kind of coming behind him. She would kind of wrap up her conversation with them, sort of like, respectfully bid her goodbyes, and then just kind of like start moving through the crowd, like kind of off to the edge of the square. A little bit further north, I think that's towards, what is that, St. Claude Street. And eventually he would sort of bring you up and go, Miss Marie, these folk wanted to speak to you. The big one, he's one of my kin. They can be trusted. And you would see not any good pictures of her older. I think that's like the only real picture of her. Let me see if I get a epic embed. So like her,
if you
but
will.
70, I think. Yeah,
The real
yeah,
historical figure.
yeah. The real historical figure. Yeah.
Hmm.
And, like there's some art stuff too. Like I guess there's this one. Gosh.
Angela
But
Bassett
then
played
there's
Marie Laveau.
oh is that the picture of what is that was that American Horror Story?
I think Marie Laveau was a character in American Horror Story, so that I think that was her role.
Yeah. Portrayed by Angela Bassett. Yeah.
The Queen of Wakanda.
That is the actress, yes.
I just wanted to say the joke. That's all.
Well, Marie Laveau is known as the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans, so a queen in her own right. But yeah, so she would kind of like come over towards like the edge of towards that edge of the square there. I'll say that there's like some like outside seating for like what at this point I guess would be like a closed like little restaurant, and she would being older, just kind of pick a chair and sit down and kind of invite the rest of you to sit down at like these outside chairs.
Take a seat.
So,
The floor.
Ardath says that you can be trusted. What can I do for you all?
Well, we were told to come find you by the lantern people. Darvo, do you want to take this?
Oh, yeah. We were given information that if we wanted to essentially, we're looking for people who were taken against their will to be possibly used in traffic by not necessarily the military, but by mystical folk.
See, you mean she kind of like slowly looks around the drow?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we could be straight up with her, I think.
No, it's more so if I just started saying stuff that they would even understand, because I don't know how common everyone knows about contractors and the whole magic bullshit.
I think she's kind of in
I don't know.
well, yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah, taken by a bunch of malicious drow.
Since the reckoning, things here have gotten worse. At first, they only enslaved other humans. But now, anyone that's different, they enslave. She kind of like points towards, well, kind of like motions with a hand towards Ardath and Ed. Those of you with larger forms for more arduous and laborious tasks, and those of the more squat persuasion for their knowledge of the earth and how to make it yield its resources in a much safer fashion. People of the forests and their knowledge of nature, what they can squeeze from Mother Earth. But you said that you were looking for people that were taken by them.
Yes.
The people that I work with, we specialize in taking those of us that are tired of the oppression of being under the yoke and find secure, safe passage for them north. The lantern marks the way. It lights the darkest night and guides you to salvation. I can help you get people out of the Confederacy. Finding people taken within it, that's harder. Do you know where from they were taken and for what purpose?
Based on what we could ascertain, forced into some sort of slave soldier under the wicked magics that the drow contractors use.
There's only one place that I can think of where such a thing happens.
Is it a underground temple?
No,
Oh,
an orphanage.
an orphanage.
The children whose families were lost since this war broke out are taken in by the state. But those children, they're meant to be taken care of, given a new loving home. But instead, they disappear and somehow find their ways to the ranks of the contractors.
Well, we heard that due to some stress circumstances that people were being forced into it. Full grown people. Are you suggesting that the church could be a starting point, at least?
As far as I know, the church has nothing to do with it.
I mean, not the church, the orphanage.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, the orphanage, she would say, is yeah, she'll say it's on Constance Street, near the corner of Constance and Robin. But that would be the best place to start, to my knowledge.
Out of curiosity, just because my brain likes to make weird jumps, would we be aware of Harriet Tubman?
Would you be aware of Harriet Tubman?
As in, like, is she a figure that people knew about at the time?
During this time.
She was important. Yeah, I mean, let's see.
Oh, it was due to her in the Underground Railroad. Because essentially what this mystical lady's talking to us about is essentially the Underground Railroad.
You might be right about that. Let's see. Would she have been super known? See, when the Civil War began, she worked for the Union Army first as a cook and nurse, and then as an armed scout and spy.
I'm a rogue for the Union.
So maybe
Yeah.
that she'd be doing her thing.
She'd be doing her thing. Yeah. I mean, if anything, she'd be famous, maybe within the Union Army. But this is for her guidance of the raid at Combahee Ferry, which liberated more than 700 enslaved people. When was that? What is the state? What is the date for that? 63, and it's 70 now. She'd
Yeah.
she'd have made a little bit of a name for herself. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just curious because when she was talking about it, made me think, oh, I wonder if she's aware of Harriet Tubman. Am I aware of Harriet Tubman? Maybe. But okay, going back to it. All right. Well, check out the orphanage. Another thing. Do you know of? This is gonna sound weird. A temple in the swamps. A what's the word? It's Ed, help me out here.
Me?
It's a. I'm trying to think. It's like a necromantic temple.
Yeah, it's one of them
Ziggurat?
big, one of them big crazy
Necropolis.
ones.
Necropolis.
Oh yeah, I was totally gonna pull that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ed was gonna pull the crap.
Jesus.
So I need help bouncing words off. Yeah, a necropolis somewhere in the Louisiana swamps.
What did what did I give you again? Because I gotta make sure that I gave you the right shit for these.
Is it in that? Is this one?
I believe there was talks about a use of undead rituals to.
A necropolis.
Well, I think it was that.
Are you talking about with the vision with the different labyrinths?
Yeah.
It would have to be that.
Okay. What are your notes for that? What are your notes for that?
Well, I remember the one for the kid, the other time traveler. We're looking for his. He said it was like a necropolis type, right?
No, he's not down here. No.
Wait,
You're looking.
This was Ashland's?
This was Ashland's.
Is she in necropolis then? Sorry, I'm confused.
No. Let me hold on. Give me a second here. I gotta look at some
Frickin' shorthand notes make me fucking shit. All right, looking at my stuff.
Where'd you put it?
Wrong.
Where'd you put
He's digging.
I was at it already.
it? Where is it?
Snake Beholder, Louisiana Swamp.
Go to Snake Demo, kill Sumo Beholder, Louisiana Swamp.
Literally, yeah, it's my fucking
Desert
shorthand.
Sand Stone Temple, Forest Temple covered in ash, Snow Temple Dwarf, Underwater Temple, Fridge Cold. Fridge Cold!
Fridge Cold! True.
Like I said, my shorthand.
Okay. I see what the problem is here. Okay. No, not a necropolis. What you saw was you'd seen the Snake Temple. That was already familiar to you.
Yes.
There was in fact what seemed to be, I think I had described it as, at the bottom of a large canyon, there was a temple carved into the stone. Then Forest Temple covered in ash. Yeah, that was up by that was the volcano one. You went to that one already. Snow Temple Dwarf. You also already went to that one, yes. Underwater Temple, freezing cold. Yeah. That one, it's somewhere underwater, somewhere deep. I don't know if you guys had figured out where that one was yet.
Yeah.
Grave Temple City. No. You see a massive sprawling city, within it, a large sprawling graveyard. And that's what that one is, but not a necropolis, just a big graveyard.
Okay.
The other
More
one,
like a necropolis.
more like a necropolis.
Sure.
And then the last one, no grave temple, just battlefield, big
Oh.
battlefield. Yeah, a battlefield, and I think the way I had described it was countless dead. So
Okay.
yeah, that might have been when you got the grave temple idea, but yeah.
Fuck. No, yeah.
All right. But yeah, if you ask her if she knows about a graveyard in the city, she'll say, yeah, a large graveyard. She would say, there are a number of large graveyards in the city. I'm not quite sure which one you'd be looking for.
Any of them have any complex or very old buildings?
She would.
Or like underground structures.
I don't know how well you guys are aware of the
That's beautiful. That's yeah. Yeah, she would say, there are a number of cities of the dead within New Orleans. There is the St. Louis cemeteries 1, 2, and 3. And then there is the Protestant cemetery. And I'm trying to see how many more of these would have existed back then. I think the Lafayette cemeteries did, which she would say that there's 2 of those. And Jesus Christ, there's a lot of fucking cemeteries in New Orleans.
People be dying and shit.
People do be dying and shit. That's I like how for the tourism, things to do in New Orleans. Go to the cemeteries. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that she says like those. She'll say the 3 St. Louis cemeteries, the Protestant cemetery, and yeah. And she'll say that there's some other ones, but they're smaller. Haven't quite been filled out all that much yet. But St. Louis Cemetery number 1, which I think is one of the bigger ones, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but when I clocked its proximity, it should be, where are the layers? Should be somewhere around here.
That's mighty close.
Because I think it was St. Louis Street and Franklin was like where they said it was when I was looking at a modern day map. So I think like maybe these 2 plots here. I don't know. makes it seem like there's a building literally everywhere, but also too this square is quite large as well. So map is definitely not to scale, which my bad. But yeah, and I'm not quite sure where the other two are, but I can figure that out. But yeah, so she would say there are those. And as for if there's something under them, Cal is dead or buried beneath the soil. If there's some sort of necropolis beneath it, I'm not aware.
Okay. Are any of them relatively close to that orphanage?
Okay, that I actually have to go look at a real map for. Give me a second.
Oh. That,
Let's look at a New Orleans map.
sorry.
No, it's all good. Let's see. St. Louis Cemetery. Let's see, number 3. Show me number 3. That one was established in 1854. And that one is on Esplanade Avenue, which is, I think, off of the current map, so not around where I'm looking for. Further to the north near Bayou St. John. Number 1 is right next to Congress Square, and then the spot I gave you. What were the streets I gave you? It's south of Camp Street, right? Constance and what?
For the ones you just said, I just super forgot.
Let me look back over at this map. Constance, and that looks like Robin.
Sounds right.
Let's see where number 2 is. St. Louis Cemetery number 2 is. Oh, wow. They are 1 and 2 are within like immediate proximity of one another. I think the other one is right up here at Claiborne, and the other one is like further off the map up to the north. But yeah, none of them are within. Actually, no. The Protestant one is over here, which I guess would technically be the closest to Constance and Robin over here.
All right.
Oh yeah, it would be like up here. But yeah, so she would give out those directions, and Aaron's keen mind would keenly remember where these things are.
Easily.
Easily, quite easily.
All right. Any part of the city we should stay out of?
For people from the other worlds, like Toril and the like, the safest place for you to be would be here among your own in the French Quarter. or even just north of it. But the rest of the city is more actively patrolled. I don't know about contractor patrols, but plenty of regular patrols.
Any other weird behaviors that you've seen amongst the populace lately?
Define weird.
Increased number of magic folk, more drawing and quartering than typically seen. Like they're like all the people you don't like here are in a hurry for something.
The regular army doesn't seem to be in any sort of rush.
Yeah.
But those contractors, there's been more of them. And they've been moving a lot, been making things difficult. But they've never been the type to investigate a few lost slaves before. It's not their purview. But if they start getting involved, well, then we're going to be in for a whole heap of trouble.
Mm. Do you know if they typically convene anywhere?
Personally, no. There are others throughout the city that might be more knowledgeable.
Any you might recommend?
There's a halfling, I believe is what they're called. He has a strange name. It's. Oh, I hate myself. His name is Biscuit.
Biscuit?
I don't know why his parents decided to name him that, but they did.
What a regal name.
What a regal name! He likes to hang out down near Levy Street. He's always kept his ear to the ground and knows a little bit more than he should. A little bit more than most folk. He might be able to give you information about contractors.
How do you spell her name?
Oh, give me a second.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I only have one more question, but before I ask it, do any of you have any questions that we maybe forget that I may be forgetting?
I got a question. Um, do you know anything about like a church around here that has something to do with like a red candle? It's in the French Quarter, so you probably know about it.
With a red candle. I'm gonna have her.
History?
Yeah, she might have her little history. Uh, yeah. Um, she will say, Is that? I gotta make sure. Make sure that that place was actually around. Give me. Now I got oldest churches in the French Quarter. Oldest churches in the French Quarter. Yeah. Where? Where is that located? That's on Camp Street. Is that in the French Quarter? I know. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not? Because I like proximity and irony, I guess. We'll say she'll say Our Lady of Guadalupe. Uh, and it would be right nearby. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Looks like what street is that? It would be right on Southern Rampart. So Southern Rampart and what? And what? What street is that? St. Louis Street?
Mm.
Oh, is it literally right there next to the graveyard? Are you kidding me?
Where we are.
No, it's St. Louis and it's like the one over this street right here. It's right there. Should be. That should be right. Because if St. Louis is this street right here going up, it's Conti Street and Rampart. So right here. Yeah, I'll put a little. Oh yeah, you did a thing. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that works. Yeah, she'll point out the steeple. They have candles up in the steeple from time to time.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Okay. Ed,
Hmm.
anything picking your fancy?
No, I don't have any questions, but I really appreciate that you're doing, this.
People deserve a place to worship and a way to keep the faith and culture, especially being in this strange land. It wasn't that long ago that my own people were brought here from distant shores and forced to change. But if I can help them move on from here, find a home in the north or out west, I will. For as many years as I have left in this old bones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Ed?
No.
Okay. Then here's a question, and please do not be
Instantly offended. No.
please do not be worrisome. Are you familiar with the name Limpsmith?
I will have her make a history check. No, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay. Well then, I believe we got plenty of information. Now we just need to execute a plan of action after we get some sleep.
You're. Yeah, Jesus, late.
Because it is past midnight in game.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I will say, if that is the end of your conversation with her, that, yeah, she'll recommend a place nearby, where you could find cheap beds. We'll say it's over, I don't know, on the corner of Liberty and Bayou. Um, so right over here where the big fancy number 6 is. We'll say it's a Motel 6. No. uh
Or at least a Best Western.
yeah, you got a Best Western. But yeah, and it's a small little place. Nothing like too crazy big or out of the way. But surprisingly, even though it's like small in the sense of it's not like this big place able to accommodate large numbers of people, the building is adequately sized for your height, Ed.
Hell yeah.
And I'll say, yeah, it's like 2 silver. No, it'd be about a silver for each of you. For a night.
Easily done. All right.
A silver, you said?
Yeah, yeah. A silver.
Is that sure?
What now?
You said it was a silver.
Oh yeah. Silver piece
Silver per room or silver per person?
Per person.
per person.
Okay. In that case, there is 8 of us?
No, wait. Actually, hold on. My math is bad. No, it might not be a silver. Hold on. Ed, Jarvis, Bruce, Aaron, Walter, Wilfred. 6. 6 people. And it's smaller. Should be 2 rooms. It'd be four silver total
Silver total.
instead of 6 silver. Yeah, two per room.
All right. Well, I put one down already.
Okay.
I'll put one down as well.
If I put one down, we have to choose.
Walter conveniently has 1 silver piece.
Oh, good shit. Yeah, have him put it down.
It was
Yeah.
It was foretold. But you settle in. It's decent sized room. Beds are quite long and a bit wider than you're used to for most of you. Ed, it's almost just right.
Damn, I might not sleep on the floor tonight.
But depending on where you settle in, And barring if you do anything else before you go to bed, you have a long rest.
I know. I'm just gonna take a quick chat with the staff.
You have a quick chat with the staff?
Just see how they're doing.
I'd say, seems like one of them is asleep,
Oh,
and the other one would just. What do you want, human?
just seeing how you guys are doing.
There is peace for once.
Surprised you guys don't try to alternate who's awake and who's asleep, just so you can have full control for the situation at hand.
Sometimes two heads are better than one.
What?
But in situations where things are dangerous, we do trade off from time to time.
All right. Well, just for future sake, I may be using you to whack people. Are you okay with that?
That is not something that we would have a choice about. But the fact that you asked, it is appreciated. I personally do not care. Access to our other abilities, however, is not a simple matter. I am not the one who is capable of answering for all of the abilities. You must convince my other half, my inferior half.
Just because it's hard to sometimes differentiate between your voices. This the big one or the small one?
This is the original. He does not elaborate further on that if you attempt
I
to
know.
ask him.
I know. I'm like, I'm not going to correct him. I'm just going to let it go. All right. Well, we're going to be heading to sleep for a bit. If you have any intriguing ideas of what comes to the future, don't be afraid to try them out.
Perhaps.
Jarvis will turn in.
Okay. All right. You have your long rest, and eventually, between the numberly earlier morning rush of the city, the sunlight beginning to stream in through the windows, chirping of birds, and the ringing of church bells all across the city, in one way or another, you awaken.
Hey guys, they got beignets.
They do. They do have them downstairs.
Hell yeah.
So, as we're sitting down, chomping on our beignets. So, what's our plan of attack for today?
We have the orphanage. What are the?
Then we have the we have the graveyards.
Yeah.
I would like to at least check out the one closest to the orphanage because there may be a situation where proximity is a factor.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then we've got our plan.
And Ed,
Mm.
that is probably the quietest you ever slept.
Well, he did have a bed that fit him finally, so maybe that
I always
helps.
sleep quiet.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of tossing and turning is what I mean.
Well, I don't wake up. I don't
I
toss
know
and
you don't
turn
wake
because that
up.
means whoever's sleeping on me gets tossed.
Yeah, but no one was sleeping on you.
and turned.
Enter.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Do you still have my Zeus ball? Your microgravity ball?
He got him.
So it is a Zeus ball, ain't it? Yeah,
Well,
well, you didn't ask for it back, so I was sleeping in a Zeus ball.
all right. The Zeus ball floats out of your hand.
You may have Zeus ball back.
It's just already floating out of your hand.
Fuck.
Fuck.
You kind of
It
have to have little.
it invisibly tries to fly back to him
I want it.
as I cast Mage Hand,
What's
but nobody can see.
stronger, my gravitational control of it or your mage hand?
Rollies.
How much does Zeus Ball weigh?
Actually, I believe I have that written down. Let me go check.
Because unfortunately, I think even if you have the Legend
Is it
Domain
too
version of Mage Hand, it might be too heavy. Yeah, because I think was it 10 pounds they can hold?
It's either a
That'd
pound
be
or 10
5.
pounds. I need to check.
10 pounds
Let's
is
see.
pretty hefty. It's like medicine ball.
It says or carry more than 10 pounds, so it's Mage Hand's got 10 pounds.
Yeah, so we have to see how much Zeus Ball weighs.
Let me. Oh, wrong thing. Newtonian. A 1-foot diameter sphere, metallic ore. For the weight.
1 foot diameter sphere.
Yep.
It's made out of metal. What weighs more, a kilogram of feathers or a kilogram of steel? That's right,
Steel.
a kilogram of steel, because steel's heavier than feathers. That's right. You know what? I'll say because you know what? It's like a mechanism. There's no way it's just a solid steel sphere.
10 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
10
know
pounds
that.
is fucking like. That's like a medicine ball. That's hefty.
Yeah, you could start moving it. You could start moving it.
Pulling its way back to Ed.
Then then I force it to come back to me because I can move it 30 feet a turn. As a
Start
bonus action.
struggling against each other.
See,
Like, it doesn't have a consciousness. And I see you freaking doing your mage hand casting. Dude, seriously?
it's not me. It's where's the Mage Hand? You can't see anything.
Bruce, you're
Yeah,
still
you would
doing...
see him casting a spell, but you wouldn't see the result of the spell, which is funny.
Yeah, but
I'm
I can
casting a different
understand mage.
spell.
Yeah, but you know what? You want to do this? Fine. I use my mage hand plus the bonus action to move it to me.
Well, we can see that you're doing that Mage Hand. I'm not doing this.
I'm still doing it.
It's
All right.
fucking.
This is the real shit.
'Cause
This is the shit that matters.
This is the.
Wait, what the fuck are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Really? Are you?
I. You don't know how to make that one invisible yet, but
Oh yeah.
That will be fucking terrifying to
Give
make
me
it
Zeus
invisible.
ball.
yeah, the Big B's hand just like you're trying to have Zeus Ball move
Whoops.
back. Something invisible is holding it, and then a massive hand comes.
Why are you
Wait,
polymorphing?
what are you
No, I did not.
polymorphing?
I did not mean to do that. It was a
Oh,
misclick.
okay.
It was a misclick.
That was a misinput. You calm down. All right. All right, but yeah, so Big B hand starts holding the Zeus ball.
Like, really?
Give me Zeus Ball. Yeah.
It's literally mine.
You know what's so stupid? It doesn't say the mage hand in concentration, so you have an invisible hand pulling the Zeus ball that's also being pulled by the massive visible hand.
Okay, I said he may. I said he may have Zeus ball back.
All right, I will release Zeus Ball.
Why did you? I'm just gonna
What?
put in my coat.
Yeah, what's your point? I don't.
It's for the meme.
Note to self: make you get a magical item that lets you do Big Q Sand once a day just for memes.
Free hand.
That's what spell slots are for. Memes.
I know that's right.
But after the Zeus ball struggle of 1870, the Big B's hand of 70, if you will. You do have the day before you. So where are you tackling first? Where are you headed first?
Graveyard?
Yeah,
You
can
got
you
a
just
graveyard?
figure out if all the graveyards got underground shits in them?
Before we continue, if we see someone, should we attempt to capture them?
If we see someone,
I mean, if we see a contractor like moving people.
oh, if we see a contractor moving people and we stop them,
I
Okay.
think at that point we should follow them so they're out of the public and see where they're going. Maybe.
and then stop them.
The only reason I'm asking is so because I'm spells for the day.
Yeah, I think we should probably follow them. Maybe that could be a lead if we see one.
Okay, so if you see a contractor, you're going to follow them, but for the time being, you're heading to the graveyard. Okay. And
And I suggested the one closer to the orphanage.
closer to the orphanage. Okay, so the Protestant graveyard. Okay. Give me a moment. How does this whole thing fit together?
Mhm.
All right. Sorry, I'm messing around with something. Okay. Yeah, you know what? So here's what I'll say. You gather up your stuff and you head off towards the Protestant graveyard. And because this is one of those things that may or may not end up leading to combat, let's call it there, and hopefully we'll have everybody next week.
Oh, right off the bat, fuck.
That makes sense. What does
Yeah,
Pete do for
because
outros? He's like, that's all for this episode.